Welcome to Life with Shan. Today we are going to talk about starting a Bookstagram, what Bookstagram is, and how to grow your Bookstagram. So to start, Bookstagram is basically an Instagram space where you talk about books. Some people review books on Bookstagram, others just share what books they're hoping to read, and a lot of people just want to connect through Instagram and talk about books, join book clubs, buddy reads, find bookish merch, and just be a part of the book community on Instagram. I personally created my Bookstagram in May of 2019. When I started, I did not know that Bookstagram was a thing. I just knew I wanted an Instagram dedicated to my book pictures and what I was reading. And then it was very fun for me to discover that there were people who had Instagrams dedicated to books. Through that, I was able to connect with others. I followed a bunch of people just because I loved their photos, and then slowly I learned to follow people who I felt like I enjoyed the same types of books as. We had same point of views, and also shared like fun bookish merch or had book clubs. One thing on Bookstagram that's really cool is that you can open your mind up to different genres. I used to not read fantasy very often, and I wasn't a huge thriller reader, and then I slowly got into both. And now I'm also more of a romance reader, and I've really expanded my horizon of what kind of books I like to read. Another thing is that Bookstagram is also a great way to learn about how to get books discounted or for free, such as through NetGalley, which I'll do another video on in the future. Some content you can post on Bookstagram is you can take pictures of books you've already read and write reviews about it. You could write about your experience reading it, like, oh, I read this book on this trip, or I read this book in my favorite cozy space, which was my bed or my couch. You can also post pictures and reels now. Reels are really big on Instagram, and both of those will help you grow your platform. One thing I've learned is that the more you post, the more you will get followers if you're wanting to grow your platform, which I know a lot of us are. We shouldn't shy away from the fact that we're trying to grow it. And it is important to know that you're on Bookstagram for your own reasons, whether that be to connect with others and have a good time, or if it is to grow your followers, which that's okay too. Knowing the reason why you personally are on Bookstagram will help you also understand when you need a break from Bookstagram or how to set boundaries with Bookstagram. When I started Bookstagram, it was very hard for me to not want to buy all of the brand new books because it seemed like everyone had the newest books out there. One thing you can do to help with that is you can get books discounted. You can get a Barnes & Noble membership. You can also use your local library, which I've started doing again and has helped me a ton with my book budget. You can also join NetGalley, which is an online space where you can get advanced reading copies sent to your Kindle. And another way to save money is to kind of just set a book budget and stick to it, or count how many books you already own that are unread, and then try to get that down and just stay motivated on what you already have and not what you don't have, which is another thing I inspire you to do when it comes to followers and things like that on Bookstagram. Focus on the followers that you do have and not what you don't have. It is so easy to see people growing their platform faster than you, and we're all going to go at our own pace. Also, Bookstagram for most people is not a full-time job, so it's also important to recognize when you need a break from it, and that you don't need to post every single day to have a good time on Bookstagram. One thing you can do to help grow your Bookstagram as well is to join a engagement group, and these are kind of controversial. Some Bookstagrammers recently, probably in about a year ago, found out what engagement groups were and were surprised by it. And honestly, it's just in my perspective, it's just a way to connect with other Bookstagrammers that you wouldn't normally connect with. So I'm part of a engagement group that's called the Booksta Book Club, and through them they post like, oh, like and comment on this post, and then you'll like 3 pictures from everyone who also commented on this post. And so then people will go and like the last 3 pictures on your feed, but you also need to go through and like the last 3 pictures of everyone else who added themselves to it. And one thing I like about that is that I kind of get a boost on my page, but I also find more Bookstagrammers to talk to and connect with through that engagement group. And there are also engagement groups that are like DMs, group chats on Instagram that you just connect with one another, and you find that although you're always posting and sharing each other's content, you're also connecting and talking about your personal lives or other things about books, so that's really nice. You can also join buddy reads and just connect with other bookstagrammers. I know it's kind of scary, it feels like everybody already has clicks, but my page is always open. I have a book club called the Bookish Book Club that you're all more than welcome to join. We just don't want any mean comments, that's all we ask for. But we invite everyone to join when they can, and it's just a fun way to connect with other bookstagrammers. Some content idea on Bookstagram that will help besides just reviews, and you can review on Goodreads too to help grow that platform for yourself as well, is to post personal, which you don't have to, but I have found that when I post more in my stories about myself, people connect to me more. I have also found that when you post a picture with even just a body part, like with just your leg or something in it, you get more likes and follows from that. Another way to grow your Bookstagram is to just post what you want, and the right people will find you. Bookstagram is a difficult thing because it is so easy to get into the mindset of you need to grow your platform, even if that's not the reason you're there. So I ask you to remember why you're there, and that's to connect with books or whatever other purposes you have for Bookstagram, and just enjoy it. And remember that we all grow at different paces. I've had my Bookstagram for 2.5 years, and I'm at a little over 11,000 followers. I hit 10,000 followers about a year ago, and since then the growth has stunted, and that's okay. I'm enjoying my space. I don't have pressure to post all the time, and if people unfollow me, people unfollow me. I'm so glad I'm finally at that point. When I was around 5,000 followers, all I wanted was to hit 10,000, and I worked so hard. I did giveaways, I did so much stuff to get there, and those are all things you can do too. I'll dive more into giveaways in a second, but I want you to know that you don't have to do those things. You can just enjoy it, and you'll hit the followers when the time is right. I've seen Bookstagrammers join, and now it's their full-time job, and they joined a year after me. And just sometimes that's just the luck of it. It's the same thing with growing a business and going viral online. It's all part of it. Now back to giveaways, as I had mentioned previously. Giveaways are a way to give back to the Bookstagram community, and you can also gain followers from it. One giveaway that I do is I go through books that I don't want anymore, and I can give away a book from that, and people do 24-hour story giveaways. So you post in your story and you say share and tag me, and then everyone who enters before my story expires gets entered into this giveaway, and then I pick one winner randomly. You can do big giveaways with other bookish small businesses or bookstagrammers and do like Amazon gift cards or bookish merch, whatever you want, and usually those would be in your feed, and you would post like follow all of us, tag us in your stories for extra entries, and comment as many people as you want in the comments, mention as many people as you want in the comments to get entered into this giveaway. And that's just some templates, if you will, for giveaways. You don't have to do giveaways to be a bookstagrammer. You don't have to do giveaways to grow your platform. It's just one of many ways that people do. Now for creating content on Bookstagram, I personally just use my phone. I've used multiple different apps to edit photos. I try to keep things consistent to what style I like, which changes every now and then. You can also make like the poster board with book pages on it that I had done to have a nice backdrop without feeling like I need to clean up my whole library, which is always a mess if I'm being honest, because I'm moving books around and I just enjoy the space too much to constantly keep it picked up. Except for this little batch right here, I try to keep organized for these videos. One thing I do recommend is taking your photos all at once. It's totally up to you and what works for your lifestyle, but I have found that if I take a bunch of content one day and just edit it and then I share it throughout the week, it's less stressful than every day needing to sit down and take a picture and post about it and think about it. And I also want to remind you that you don't have to post at certain times or anything. It used to be recommended to do that. However, Instagram itself is just so out there now, it's hard to know what helps you grow. One week Instagram's like, oh, you need to post reels, you need to post reels. So I started posting reels, and now my reels get nothing out of them, but my posts get more, and it's hard. I think Instagram might be a little oversaturated compared to how it used to be, which is great because there's more people to talk about books with, there's more people to join in on the internet. It's just harder to know how to grow Instagram. So I want you to just remember what you're there for, as I've said multiple times now. Just have fun. If you have any questions, put them below in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for future videos. Some future videos I'll be doing is how to get advanced reading copies, or ARCs if you will, from publishers, joining NetGalley, how to grow your NetGalley platform, how it is to be a small business owner, and I'm going to go through my TBR hopefully next week, and we can see how little out there I got when buying books. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.